super strong and confident, relaxed, right?
Hey guys, Joe Deckelmeyer with Screen Rant. I am with Katy O'Brian, and we are at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. It's been a day.
It's been a day.
It's been a day. How's your Comic-Con going so far?
It's great. It's great. I haven't gotten to like explore yet.
No, you haven't been on the floor?
No, not really. But I did see the Dead Pools on Unicorns parade situation, and that was incredible. So I can't wait to see what else happens.
Well, you're having a hell of a year, an amazing year. I loved Twisters. I thought it was so much fun, such a fun time in theater. And it also kind of brought me back to being a kid again because it felt like that large-scale disaster movie. And it hit all the marks I was looking for. Can you talk about your experience working on Twisters and working with Isaac on the film? And this cast is also incredible. A lot of young rising stars. Can you talk about working with them as well?
Yeah, so Isaac is one of my favorite people on the planet. We got to work together on The Mandalorian, and then he'd asked me to, or I guess asked someone to put me in Twisters, and then it was like cutting it close to filming, and I had 2 hours to read the script, say yes, no, and then I was on a plane the next day. Wow. So it was a lot of like scrambling to figure out who this character was and what we were going to do with her and all of that. But in the meantime, getting to meet the rest of the cast was incredible. Like it was the first time, because a lot of these movies that I've done have been during COVID, so we've had masks on, we had to distance. I haven't been able to get really close to a lot of my castmates, and so this was the first time that we're playing like a close-knit group on screen, but we actually also got to be that in real life, which was really cool. We'd always go out to dinners and movies together and whatever we could do to keep each other entertained when we had like massive weather delays shooting a tornado movie in Tornado Alley during tornado season. Yeah,
so I actually want to ask you about that because I talked to your fellow cast members, and Anthony was telling me that he's not used to tornadoes. I'm not either, but he had a restaurant, or he had a dinner with Lee, and in that dinner, like there's tornado warnings going on, and he kind of like freaked out a little bit. Did you have any close scares at all with tornadoes when you were shooting?
Not when I was there. I grew up in Indiana, so we have tornadoes. And it was kind of one of those things where you feel the air change. You see sometimes the sky will turn like green, which is really wild, or purple, like really cool colors. And then you get the warnings, or the watch, you ignore tornado watches, like we just all do. Tornado warnings were like, maybe we should be close to home. And then you hear the siren and you're like, all right, yeah, we gotta do something. So it was just like, go, if you were fortunate enough to have a basement or crawl space, something like that, you just go and kind of wait it out. So I wasn't trying to like chase them. I wasn't trying to watch them happen. Just the lead up was enough for me. So, but while we were filming, my parents' house, and it wasn't even a full-blown tornado, got smoked by a storm. Oh, wow. Trees went through the roof, all of that. It was like pretty devastating amount of damage, but everyone's okay. But it was like, yeah.
That's wild. Now, you're in another film I love that came out this year, Love Lies Bleeding. To me, like I'm a big David, I think we've talked about this, I'm a big David Lynch fan, and I got those David Lynch vibes from that movie. Can you talk about how you think that role, because you got jacked for that role, how that role kind of like opened up doors for you, and how people saw you in a different light after that?
Yeah, it's funny. So I got the part 2 weeks before I started filming, and people were like, oh, you were so much bigger. And actually it's like when you lean out, you look bigger. So it was like a really quick cut process, you know. Really? Yeah, as I had 2 weeks to basically start. And then, towards the end, we kind of shot in chronological order, which was really great. But I think one of the cool things about that part was just Hollywood's such a weird, silly, interesting place. And it's like, what's hip, what's trendy, and what's hot or whatever. And like A24 is having a moment, Having a moment. And I really wanted to be in an A24 film. And I feel like a lot of actors do, because there's so much creative control that they give to a lot of up and coming creatives too, which is just really cool. You get to kind of get your feet wet with people as they're growing, learning, and doing some really interesting, unique, artsy pieces that like a lot of people crave to do, So when I saw the casting call at first, I was like, holy, what? Why am I not auditioning for this? This is literally made for me. And when I read the script, it was the first time I was like, this is actually terrifying to me. Like, this is going to push me more than anything has, and it's going to make me a better actor, but push me as well as an actor, and show people that I can do something other than a superhero movie or you know, a Star Wars thing or something. So I saw it as a great opportunity then to grow as an actor, but then throughout the experience, the reception that it's gotten, I think I'm hoping it opens more doors for me, maybe more lead roles, things like that. We'll see.
I mean, the range that you go through with that character is phenomenal. And like, I was genuinely terrified of your character towards like when we get to the end of the movie, you know what I mean? Yeah. A bit unhinged, I would say.
Yeah.
Now, somebody else that got super jacked that you would know is David Cornsweet, who is also in Twisters. I heard that he found out that he got the role when he was working on Twisters. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I felt like an idiot the first day I met him. I was like, man, you look like you could be Superman. He's like, oh, yeah? You should have your people talk to my people. And I was like, okay. I was like, something's going on here that I don't know about. I didn't even know they were casting for a new Superman. And then, you know, come to find out, oh, he's like in the final rounds of auditions for it. And then when we found out that he booked it, we were all on set. He wasn't, but we sent him a big celebration video. We were all so excited for him. And then bless his heart, after that, it's like we went through the strike and then we came back for reshoots. And this poor guy was like eating every 2 seconds. He had to put on so much weight, so much muscle. I don't envy that.
Did you give him any tips?
Nah, he's got a Hollywood trainer for that.
That's facts. That's facts. Now, how important for you is it to get opportunities to tell LGBTQ characters without sexuality not being the point of the story?
I love it because, I mean, I feel like when you grow up seeing that your sexuality is the conflict in every gay movie that you get to see, it kind of feels like a little bit more alienating and a little more frightening still. So when it's just out there and the conflict is something else, like maybe, I don't know, you're doing steroids and people are abusive, then like you get to focus on something else and it doesn't feel like kind of a shameful thing.
Sure.
So yeah, I think it's really great. And I love that we're seeing a lot more of that lately. Like Bottoms was an incredible movie for that. It was just like fun and silly and goofy. And I think it was unafraid to be funny, which I feel like so many people are now. And it had nothing to do with the actual act of coming out, which was great.
Now, the interplay between love and violence in Love Lies Bleeding is fascinating. How did you walk that line both thematically and practically?
Practically, I made sure to not hurt anyone. Just like made sure to, like, with all of these scenes, you know, you try to make sure that you can rehearse as much as possible and make sure that you've checked off everyone's comfort zones, the safety. All of that is so important to me, especially with like stunt scenes or these intimate scenes. Like, I never want someone to walk away from a project with me having felt violated. Sure. It's like the most, that would make me sick. Right. And certainly also on that same line, being actually injured would be like heartbreaking to me. I've actually, like in a fight scene, I have hurt somebody before, and it was devastating. Like, she was super chill about it, but yeah, it was an accident that happened, and yeah, it was bad. Now,
speaking of stunts, I got to talk about Mr. Stunts, Tom Cruise. Rumor has it that you're in a mystery role in Mission Impossible 8. We've been waiting for the release of this film because we're really excited for it. What can you tell us about your experience on that film so far?
I am so afraid to say anything. I think, but I'll say this, like, McQuarrie and Tom are like the coolest. Like, they're just so passionate about what they're doing. They love what they're doing so much. And I just like, I admire it. And it's very inspiring because you're just like, they just want to make excellent movies. Sure. And every little detail matters, and they care so much about every little detail, and they work so well together. And it's just really, really cool to see. And it's motivating and encouraging for sure. Now,
speaking of Tom, I mean, Tom Cruise is a Hollywood legend. I don't think that there is a bigger movie star on the planet, at least in my opinion. Have you taken anything away from his approach to stunts or storytelling? Yeah,
I mean, it really is that, like, that every detail matters kind of thing. And you know, with anything that he's doing, and this is just like in his chats and stuff, and talking to me and shedding some wisdom as well. It's like all of that experience, anything that you can do pushes film to that next level, and that's what we should be doing to get people back into theaters, to get people to enjoy movies again. You know, people don't want to see the same old thing that they've seen a million times before. They want something that is at that next level, because and that's what they deserve. Like, if we're trying to technology has improved so much, you know, and you have to keep people interested.
100%.
So if we're trying to do that, then we have to get better.
Now, speaking about, you talked about The Mandalorian early on, working with Isaac on that show. We know that there's going to be a Mandalorian film with Grogu. And what are the chances we could see your character pop up into that?
I don't know anything about it, unfortunately. So
most people I talk to haven't.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. I also heard a rumor that they were doing, like, trying to finish the season, or maybe try to finish. So all of this is up in the air to me. I haven't heard anything.
Fascinating. Yeah. Now, we were so sad that you weren't a part of the Candela Obscura because you're very busy. We totally get it. But are you hoping to join another Critical Role campaign in the future? Oh,
like literally anything. Like so we started that Candela episode when we were at the strike, and then unfortunately Twisters called us back, and so I had to stop. I spent so many hours developing that character and, like, coming up with, merging her in with everyone else's character. And I got to know the guys that I was going to play with, and it was so much fun just being there. So literally whatever, call me. I want to be a part of it when I can.
Well, hopefully we get you on the next one.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Katy. You're amazing. Thank you.
You too. Thanks.
Give up the travelers. The conqueror will show you mercy.
I know his mercy.